Mark. Oh, look at that graphic.
It's
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Look at Pop-Pop.
Look at Pop-Pop.
Look at Jeff. What in the hell?
You got a thiz face going on there.
A what?
A thiz face.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but we got to redo my cartoon.
Jeff, you look like you paint.
Cartoon me is ugly as hell.
You look like an artist.
Thiz face.
Real life me is like a 7.5. Cartoon me is like a 4.
I think you're better than a 7.5.
Wow.
8.5, 10.
When you got your shady rays on,
I'm 10.
you up there.
That's a sick
You're up
graphic.
there. You're a
But-
handsome fella.
If you ever saw me walking around town carrying my Rugged Road cooler with my Shady Rays on,
On his way to Empire today.
on my way there to get
Y'all
get some
oughta-
floor.
y'all
Get some
need
tickets from
help.
Game Time, too.
Yeah, I get a ticket
And
from
Blue
Game
Chew.
Time.
On a blue chew or two.
Mm.
Watch
Blue-
out now.
I'm gonna push y'all
No
down.
front. No front hugs.
Code All City on Blue Chew.
No
Free
front
month.
hugs.
Just
I'm
pay
tired of
$5 shipping.
No front hugs.
I'm sick of you, man.
Side church hugs when you're on that blue chew.
It's a Magic Marker Monday. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. I asked you who is your non-star player that got your game ball, and I see some of your answers. I like y'all. I like what you're doing. I see some Osa, some Lipke, some Tolbert. We see some names. I see a J. Lou. Let's do ours though. Let me see. What am I doing? We'll start with that one. Your non-star player that gets your game time game ball. And we'll start with someone who's not me, because mine is not a star player, but he's also a small enough name that I feel like it's not even good for the show to say it. So we're not going to lead with it.
We'll start with me.
Yeah, let's start
Yeah,
with
you
you.
gotta go
Let's
in.
start with you.
We'll start with me.
Let's start
And
with
Yeah.
if you know anything about me, I want to push my agenda. I want to push
Oh my God.
my agenda. I want to be right. Okay?
Yeah.
I like being right. I
Yeah.
thrive on being right.
Yeah.
Because when I'm wrong, boy, do y'all let me know.
Yeah.
So when I got a chance to be right, oh, I want to be right.
Uh-huh.
And I told you guys, we're nearing it. We're nearing it. I said this in preseason. I said, by the time we get to the bye, I need this certain player to be the bona fide person he needs to be. Because it's now or never. It is now or never. And I think that we saw that come about last night.
You're picking Zeke, aren't you?
No.
Oh.
I think we're getting there. Did I spell that right?
Yes, you spelled his name
Okay,
right.
here we go.
How are you going to push an agenda and not know the name?
Well, I'm pushing agenda, not a spelling bee, okay? I'm all about pushing the agenda. Jalen Tolbert, I think he took a gigantic step
Yo.
last night into making me right.
Led
And
the team in targets.
there's nothing I love more than to be right about something.
Well, CD's going to punch him in the face. He got the
And-
most targets.
No, I mean, CD had 9. He had 10. You know what I mean? But hey, Jalen Tolbert, he gets my game ball last night. Big time plays that he made last night. As Tyler Smith said, got a sprained nut, came back from a sprained nut,
Yeah, sprained his nuts.
sprains his nuts, I've never
On a bad Dak throw.
I've never
thought Dak-
sprained a nut
yeah.
before.
He was the vast difference, dude.
He came back on a sprained nut for a game-winning touchdown. My game ball goes to, and my agenda pusher. My agenda pusher.
You say gender pusher?
Agenda pusher.
Agenda pusher.
My agenda pusher is Jalen Tolbert. Let's freaking go.
I will say there are many receivers on this team that don't make that catch that won the game.
Dude.
Good ball. Not
de-
a lot of places to put it.
Nope.
Good
And
detail to get
getting
back in the
hit
end zone.
in hands and arm as you're catching it.
And the dude was grabbing it in the area.
And somebody was hitting his nuts again.
When he wrapped up, he's rapping
He hit his
low.
sprainness?
He was rapping low.
Dang, that's messed up.
It is.
No
You gotta
I
do
in
what you
my
gotta
name,
do.
please. Thank you.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, that one has no eye.
No, this one, the
or
one
is there
before
one
that.
that did
Yeah,
have
yeah,
an eye?
yeah, yeah.
No
Right
eye
here.
in Jesse. Yeah.
All right.
Don't do
What
that.
you got, Joe?
Yeah, I talked earlier last week about how the no names have to become
Oh,
names.
you're going to push an agenda, aren't
Let's
you?
go. See,
Another
I
agenda.
kind of
being
pushing my
right.
agenda.
People love being right.
I like flexing a little
Another
bit. you know?
agenda.
But when I think of no name, I think perhaps the biggest no names are the guys on the offensive line. And I think that there might be no bigger no name that played and stepped up last night that made a name for himself, to be honest with you. And I made a nice little drawing to go with this. It's a guy that loves fishing because it's TJ Bass.
That looks like a
Yes.
sperm. That don't look like a bass.
How does that look like a sperm?
Oh
we got
my
a sprained
God,
nut.
Bro, you got nut on
Bad
the
sperm.
mind, my friend.
Listen,
No, but I think TJ Bass, the thing about TJ Bass is, I mean, we're even talking today, like maybe that's their best offensive line. But TJ Bass over the last few years as an undrafted free agent, all the dude has done is come on when called upon, do a good job, not really be heard of, and then just move on, right? And then just goes back to the line, back to the bench, and kind of just chills and waits for his next opportunity. He's a guy that can be counted on consistently, and I think when you need him to step up, he's always there for you.
He's quite literally like, I know some people might not think a lot of him, but he's a starter on some offensive lines
100%.
in the NFL.
That's 'cause
Absolutely.
There's some bad offensive lines. There's some bad offensive linemen in the NFL.
Yeah. It was nice to have a guy that could go in and you didn't have to die.
Yeah, just TJ, go in, do a good job.
And he does more than not get you killed to me. But anyway.
He dirted a couple people.
My human is Jordan Lewis. I don't know if you can see my handwriting. I apologize. But I chose Jordan Lewis because I think he really picked up where he left off last year. I think towards the end of the season, you could have said, like, man, this might be our best defender. As a nickel corner, he's dealing with so much down there, running through traffic and doing all that stuff. And I thought that he played sticky coverage yesterday, but he also, too, he set the tone, man. Like, Pickens is significantly taller than him, significantly bigger than him, and that never scared him. He tackles in space. He got his hands on him, and he was chirping all game. He was letting them know, like, bro, you're not getting anything. And if you go back and watch the game, he's hip pocket almost the whole time. So I just wanted to bring him up. I think he has been playing very well within this system. It's helped him.
And George Pickens didn't like him either, because at the end of the game,
he
after
yanked
it was
him like
over,
a child.
he grabbed him by the face mask and tried to throw him on the ground.
Yeah.
He yanked him.
And that's because George Pickens is a whole-ass psycho. Like, that was literally part of his scouting report, he is unhinged. He's a psycho.
Wow.
And that's why when I saw Jordan Lewis chirping, I was like, that's either really smart or really stupid.
Well, Jordan ain't scared of that.
Because George Pickens will 100% not have anything happening up top to stop him from punching you in the face during a game. And I'm like, but that would be a penalty. So if you're willing to take that punch. So I enjoyed watching Jordan go at a guy that absolutely cannot stay focused if you talk to him.
Never scared.
I love that pick from you. I am a huge Jordan Lewis fan.
He's a battler, dude.
Yeah,
what he came back
Jordan
from
Lewis.
too. Yeah.
Jordan's one of those guys that could play really bad, and I'd try to figure out ways to talk around it.
Yeah.
Because I also think he's a great dude.
But he's been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, and you talk about a system change. Sometimes system changes help guys. I think that this has helped him.
All right, I'm going with the guy that none of you are going to care about.
No, I'm very excited.
I just want to throw it out there.
Give me that.
I have a couple of tweets
You know what?
about
I can
him
make
from
this an agenda
preseason.
one. I can make this an agenda one. You know
Do
what?
it.
Okay,
Do it.
so
He's about
check
to
this out.
push it.
What's your agenda?
Let me push my agenda. I was at camp, because that's how I work. I work hard. I was at camp.
He was at the rudder room.
I was at the rudder room at night, but I was at camp during the day. I didn't miss a practice while I was there. I was hungover for a couple of them, but I was there. My God. A couple of times I stayed on the near sideline in the shade because it was
it was
and I
hot.
hadn't got my Z-Biotics yet. But anyway, and while we were out there and talking about all of the things where Jerry Jones was a silly goose for not having good players, we're like, oh man, their running backs aren't good enough to be on an NFL team. And their defensive tackles aren't good enough to be on an NFL team. And their defensive ends, they don't really have enough to field an NFL team yet. And they started just bringing in all the people. Remember, they brought in Caden Muhammad, Shaka Tony before finally they called Lawson and were like, I know you didn't want league minimum, and we laughed because we're cheap. But fine, come on down. And as they were bringing those dudes out, every practice I'm watching, I'm like, I get it that you're looking for guys, but there's this random guy out here that I don't really know. He's better than them. Like, why don't you just put him on the team and see if he can be your 4th, 5th edge or whatever. And he had to play last night. And his name is Tyrus Wheat. And Tyrus Wheat, I thought played some pretty decent football. The way that I described it last night in the postgame show was between him and Chauncey Golston, boy, there was some real boring defensive end work done.
It's different.
Like, there wasn't no pass rush. But if you're just saying, look, don't get pushed around, be a reasonable run defender, don't let that quarterback get outside, just do your job. The fact that a guy who basically hasn't played, Joe looked this up earlier, played 60% of the snaps, and I thought he played good football. I salute you, Tyrus Wheat. Here's your internet butt tap. Good job.
Yeah.
You done it.
We all silly like the mayor.